All right, so we are definitely live on this hangout, and I gotta tell you something. I just got back from Live the Dream, Austin, Texas, and early this morning. I got home at around 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, something like that, and it was an adventure. This was an amazing event because I was able to connect with more people this year than I've ever connected with on any other occasion. I've been to so many, I've been on to these online events where you can interact with leaders in the home-based business industry, but to get in front of them and just engage with them and have more questions and to feel like you know them a little bit more, because when you see them and they call out your name, it's a really amazing thing. So one of the things that I really took away from this is that just how powerful it is to have connections with people on the internet, and then you can meet them right there in in a place like Live the Dream, and you can connect with them right away. We had gone like a whole year without seeing each other, but we stayed connected to each other on our little hangout that we have, on our hangouts, on our little Facebook groups that we have together. That really brought us all together, and we were just totally blown away. And all of us got together, and we were just making it happen where we could get um, where we could just get just like so much value out of it. One of the things I personally I was so deeply humbled by was when I could go up to the keynote speakers and actually get like a photograph with them. But one of them in particular, I was just able to talk to the guy for about 45 minutes. And we're going to get into that one in a little bit. But let's just go into it. Well, I see that we got a few people coming on here, so we're going to just like keep going with this. This is awesome stuff. So from last year, I can definitely see that there's been an improvement on like how people really want this bad. People really want this bad. There was a lot more people getting more awards. There were people who were going up on stage. There were more people who just were engaging with this last year than I thought of this year. And even within our own little group, I could see the people they were rank advancing and they were getting awards, and people were just finding out what exactly they wanted to, like what direction that they wanted to go in. And the way that we were able to build upon that was just by taking the time with these leaders and figuring out what exactly should we be focusing on. And when you got so many gifted people going up there and you're trying to take as many notes as you possibly can, it was just something, it was really amazing. One of the first leaders that went up there was Hal Elrod. Now, if you don't know Hal Elrod, he has a book that's called The Miracle Morning, in which he was in a tremendous car accident that nearly killed him, and he was a highly successful salesman in a company. I don't remember what company it was. I forgot to write it down, but he was literally. They used the jaws of life. He was in a coma for like 6 days or something, and he was able to get out of that thing. So he was literally dragged out of the car, and his life was spared. From there, he was told he wasn't going to walk again, and he was able to he was going to be a vegetable for the rest of his life. So what happened was he just simply defied it and said, you know what, if that is, I'm going to give it everything I got. And if I can't get out of this, if I can't walk again, that's okay. I'm okay with that. And he has a phrase that he was using all the time, and it was, can't change it. And he told us to write it all down, and write that down and just say, this is something we just can't change. We can't change it. And it was a really amazing thing to see, like, to hear his story and to have him like pull out some. So I've got my notes right here, so I'm looking down, and one of the things that he was saying is that like, what's your number one limiting belief? Like, you have a limiting belief. Like, what's your personal belief? And you want to write that down. So whatever it is that your number one limiting belief is, you have to just kind of be honest with yourself about that. So I did it. I wrote down what my number one belief is that being trapped in the belief that having a business is evil. Now, some of you may kind of laugh at that and say, like, well, I've known you for a while, and I don't think you don't come across as that kind of a person. And you would think that. But if you knew the kind of people that I was hanging around with, and their mentality, their mindset is that money flat out is evil. And then if you challenge them on that, they're like, oh, I don't think that. But really, that's like in essence what they were thinking, is that money just is flat out evil. But that was my number one limiting belief. And he had a method for breaking that habit, method for slowly breaking it down so that you don't have to do that anymore. And something that he said that I really took away from was how much is like what procrastination is. And he said procrastination is the essence of a lack of discipline. And one example that he used was the snooze button. When you wake up in the morning, you hit the snooze button. It's like the first thing you're doing is you're procrastinating, and it really struck me. And I just said to myself, like, that is so true. Like, I'm procrastinating. That's the first decision that I'm making, is to procrastinate first thing in the morning. And when I saw that, it really hit me. It really grabbed my attention, and that was. It really hit me, and what I wanted to do was, like, I don't want to be like that anymore. I don't want to be a procrastinator. I don't want to be the person that's going to feel like I'm not giving it everything I've got. And when people go to these events, they just go there for personal development, and they go there for connections. They usually go there to have some kind of emotional change in their bodies, in their minds, in their way of thinking, so that they can get over the hurdle of just get the job done. I honestly didn't have a very clear idea of who my target market was, and I didn't know what I should be doing all the time, because I kind of was just all over the place, and that's what I did. When I went to these leaders, I was just telling them flat out, I'm all over the place. I need your help. And that's what they're there for. That's why you go to these events. That's why you get in there. And that's why you start talking to them. You just be flat out clear and honest with these people, and you just tell them, hey guys, look, I am all over the place. I understand the fundamentals, the basics of marketing. I understand. You got to sell stuff. You have to build an audience. You got to engage with them and then sell to them. I understand affiliate marketing. I understand network marketing. I just have my mind goes in different directions so that I'm not focused on something. One of the things that I really got me was listening to when there was a leader that I resonated with, and I just got it. I wanted to listen to him and do whatever that leader told me to do. That's something that you should be doing, is that you find a leader that you resonate with, you connect with, and that you just do exactly what they tell you to do. So the leader that I resonated with was a YouTuber who's got over 1 million subscribers on 21 different channels. Now, I didn't know this. That when you go to YouTube, you can have up to 50 channels on one email. Like when you type in, your email and your password, you got your channel. You can have up to 50 channels with just that one email. I'm like, how in the world do they not slap you for it? And he says, well, it's a business, and they understand that it's a business. And so, uh, I was totally blown away by that. So I mean, because my first one of my first questions that I asked him was, you know, like how is it that you have multiple channels and Google doesn't like YouTube doesn't like slap you for it? He's like, well, if you take content, like if you have one video and then you put it on 7 channels or 3 channels or even 2 channels, you duplicate the same content, then they're going to react to that. They're going to respond to that. So I was like, cool, that's that makes sense to me. I understand. I would respect YouTube if they were going to do that. So so it looks like we got a few people going on here. We got Dave, we got Katie Stage, and we had so much fun. Dave, we wish you were there. We wish you were there because you would have had a fantastic time. Something that I did, you know, something that I want to take a break with this and just tell you a story, is that all we did was have fun at Live the Dream. Whether it was listening to a leader or going out to lunch or even taking a tour through the city on some electric scooters. That was fun. We just had fun. And this is the kind of stuff that you got to get connected with. You got to get connected with people where they just want to have fun with you. Because building relationships is network marketing. You're networking with each other and you're just learning to trust one another. And it was like, yeah. So like read Katie's comment, it was so much fun. Getting on a scooter, getting on an electric scooter and going like 15 miles an hour and zipping through the city and just go and having your friends follow you. It was fun. We had an incredible time. And then we could just like, we went to like a restaurant. We had the best burger in town, and it was. We went to a place called Casino El Camino, and we just had an incredible time. And we were just laughing about the event. We were sharing notes. We were sharing ideas. And that thing was so cool. So even Chris had fun on it. And we knew, like, as soon as we got together, as soon as you get together with people that are like in the same kind of niche that you're in, or they have the same goals, they have the same desires, they have the same dreams, you're going to be blessed by it. I know it. So show me an event where like you don't get along with people who love the same stuff as you. Show me something like that. It's just gonna have. It wouldn't make any sense if you didn't. So another thing that I took away from connecting with the leader that I resonated with the most, Daryl Eves, for the YouTuber, he simply said, you got to get ultra focused on, get ultra focused on one particular, like, how do you put it? Like one topic. Like for me, I like making videos, and I like drones. I like making drone videos. So he was telling me you just have to get ultra clear on, you know, how to fly drones, how to fix them when they break down, and how do they, like when the like when the wings on my drone when it snap, like well, they'll snap when I crash it, you know. So they don't always snap. It depends. Like if I run it straight into a tree, yeah, it's gonna damage the thing. But if I run into like a bush or something, there's a good chance that it'll be fine. You know, if I run into some tall grass, it'll be fine. It'll just like cut into it. But what he was saying was you have to be ultra focused on creating content that people will want to watch. And as you do that, YouTube is going to get a sense of like, okay, you know, people are watching his content. People are watching your content and they like it. They want to keep watching it all the way through. Then you can just keep on, you can keep on creating content the same way. You're like, okay, now put your personality into it, keep it at a good amount of time so that they will keep watching the videos. and then YouTube will start to put more people in front of you, all like automatically. Then you start building your audience. I was just literally watching a video of a guy who was just like, he's super energetic. You can tell like on his face, like he's always smiling. His eyes are always on the camera, and whatever he's doing, he's just having a fun time. And and his channel started back in January. It had like 111 people on it, and then it jumped up to like 40,000. Daryl Eves contacted this guy, and he was saying, "Hey, I want you to come to the Vid Summit up in LA for October." So the guy was like, "Sure, man." So he's gonna go to this thing, and all he was doing was creating content out of pure joy. You know, he just likes to make videos. So he was just making it out of stuff like, you know, his daily activity and his what he likes to encourage people in. So these are the things that I was getting out of it. So when you have some kind of content, you have to be ultra clear on who your audience is and what do they actually want to, what do they want to listen to, what do they want to watch. And when I got it, when I understood, like drone videos are cool. People like drone videos. People like different. You can do a lot of different things with drone videos. And so I told him, hey, you know, I'm gonna be ultra focused on this. And he made some pretty cool promises to me if I were to prove myself and get it done. So I'm definitely gonna do that. But I'm trying to go through this. I want to go through. I want to find. There's like so many different. There's so many different things. You know, when Mike Dillard got on there, he was pretty cool. I got photos with him. Oh yeah, so I want to talk about that. All right, so how in the world can you get photos with people like with leaders, right? I'm gonna go through my phone and then I'm gonna show it to you. I'm not listening. I'm not listening. Come on. All right, so how in the world, how would you like it if you were to listen to somebody on stage like Daryl Eves and then get a photo with him? How would you feel if you were to listen to somebody like let me just find him. Mike Dillard, right? How would you like to get a photo with Mike Dillard? That's Mike Dillard. How do you get a photo with him? Or somebody like, where's that guy? I got him somewhere. I got him here somewhere. There's Pat Flynn, right? People love Pat Flynn. The guy is a huge blogger. Huge blogger. The guy is a huge. There we go. There he is. All right, last one. So how do you get pictures with somebody like this, like with Pat Flynn? Really, really simple. You get to the event. Number one. Number two, you write down stuff that is really, really attractive to you. Number two. Like if they say something that just stands out to you, then you have got to write that down. Write down something that is just really attractive about that person. And then that was number two. Then number three, you go right up to the back entrance of where they could be going out, could be leaving, and then they'll pop right out. I learned this from the great Katie Stage. I learned this from her. And this is what she was doing. She was getting all these photos of these amazing leaders, of these amazing people. And I'm like, how in the world are you doing that? How in the world are you just getting these people, getting camera shots with these incredible people? How are you doing it? And then I started to pay attention to her, what she was doing after they were done on stage. The leader would go on stage, he would have a great talk, and then he would immediately get off stage, and she would get up and then go right outside And I'm like, she's gonna go somewhere. So I would get up and I'd follow her. And then she would literally just like stalk the hallway when everybody else is waiting for the next leader to get up there. And then the guy who was just on stage, he would pop out of like the back. He'd try to like scoot out and get out and go to his room. And she'd sneak in there and she'd have something like positive to say about that guy. And then he would just like, boom, she'd get a photo with him. That's how you do it. And that's what I felt like. I went out and I was trying to get an idea of like where the back entrance would be. And sure enough, I had a feeling that, and you should trust your gut. You should definitely trust your gut, because I trusted my gut and I went all the way to the back. And sure enough, Mike Dillard walked out and I saw him, and I was pleased to meet him because I've heard a lot of amazing things about this guy. So I went up to him, shook his hand. I immediately had a question about an app. I asked him, how do you get the rights to the idea for an app so that you can sell it to somebody, right? I asked him. Like, I didn't know if he was like an app builder. I didn't know anything about that, but he's a smart attraction marketer. And I was saying like, hey, how do I get the rights to an app to sell the idea to somebody? And he was honest. He's like, he said, honestly, I don't build apps and I don't do that. But what I would look for is an IP attorney. I said, what's an IP attorney? He says, he said, intelligence. I believe it's intelligence professional attorney. Something. I know the first one is intelligence. So he said you need to contact an IP attorney, and then discuss that information with them, because then they will be able to help you to get the rights to sell the app. It's like that's what I would do. And I said that's good enough for me. That's a great place to just start. And I said, I was trying to think of something quick to tell him, because he is introverted. He doesn't like crowds. He doesn't like mobs of people coming around him. And I know that for a fact about him. He's just not like, you won't catch him going on Facebook Live. You won't do that. And it was just it was definitely something cool. All right, so Katie, you definitely are a good stalker. Thank you for the comment about the photos. So cool. First time I see one with lights like that. So I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. That's interesting. But so I really had a great time just getting photos with him. So then Pat Flynn comes out, and Pat Flynn is a ultra successful podcaster, and he was talking about you build fans and you build like an audience, and you build like a good community, but then you want to build like super fans. He's like, so how do you get the super fans? And you just basically have to give them a sense of like they are ultra special people. Now, when I was taking these notes, I actually put them on. I don't think I got it written down on this. I believe I put them. Yeah, I started to type them all out, so they're all on my laptop back over there. But when he was talking about building super fans, he was basically saying the same thing as Daryl Leaps. You got to have a particular audience that you want to speak to. You got to know the pains and challenges that they have, and speak directly to them. Speak directly to their needs and their desires and their hopes and their dreams. One thing Pat Flynn does is that he emails like a new subscriber, and he makes them feel like they are really special. Now, there was one thing that I saw it was Jelena Ostrovska, the Russian blogger. I opted into her list because she was doing fantastic. She's doing really well. And one of the things that Jelena did that Pat Flynn was actually talking about was emailing your emailing your list in a way that it makes them feel like you're actually sending a direct message to them. Now, Jelena actually sends out an email with just like 2 lines on it. It says, you know, just catching, like, just want to catch up or just want to connect, something like that. And it was literally like 1 line that simply said, "Hey, Enrique, I saw that you subscribed to my channel or something like that. Subscribe to my email list. I just want you to know that I'm here for you, and if you need help, I'll do the best I can to get back to you." And I literally thought she emailed that to me. I was actually looking at that going, she actually sent that to me. And it made me believe that she was actually getting in contact with me. Just the way she worded it was just like 1 line. It wasn't long. It wasn't like a traditional long paragraph. I actually thought she took like, you know, like 15 seconds to write something so small. So when I got that, I really felt like she was trying to reach out to me, and I liked her even more. And so what ended up happening was I wrote her back. I literally hit the reply button. I wrote back, and I'm like, you know, Jelena, I appreciate you taking the time to write an email to me. And what I'm really looking for is something, I forget what I wrote. It was a while back. But then she replied 3 days later, and then I got it that it was actually part of her autoresponder. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. That was just cool. So so Pat Flynn said, if you want to get super fans, you got to connect, you got to reach out to them, and you got to make them feel like, how can I help you? You know, like what can I do to make your life easier? What can I do to help you? And you have to know what their challenges are, their pains, and all their struggles. And you're going to hear that over and over and over again until you just take action and you just get it out in front of them. And one of the things that I really loved about Derral Eves is that the guy was so incredibly humble. Here you got a dude who's got 1 million subscribers on YouTube. He's got over 30 billion views on YouTube. And he literally took like 45 minutes just answering like my questions, just like so much time. And it went by in a blink. And it was amazing to me. I was so humbled by it because, you know, all the leaders, they're just trying to, like, you know, they've got other places to go. They literally have places that they have to like drop everything and go. But that guy, he literally stayed put for 5 hours after I was done talking with him. He stayed there for hours and hours and hours, just answering people's questions, trying to help people. And I saw him at like 9 o'clock at night, still talking to people, even though he was done, like in the afternoon. Like he came on like an hour or 2 after lunch, something like that. And he was still there at like 9 o'clock, just still talking to people, still talking to them. And I ended up getting one more photo with him, and I was like, I can't believe this is amazing. I was like, you are really humbling me to look, because you want to help people. You really want to help people. And he said, well, I believe people are important. I believe that people are important. I believe people are important. And it made an impact on me. It made me want to just figure out, okay, you know, how can I do this? And so, oh, that was fun too. Something that Pat Flynn really admired was how, like, he had his super fans were responding in a certain way. Like when he missed when he missed a podcast, he would release a podcast like every Thursday or something, and he missed one. And one of his subscribers, like, you know, emailed him, "Hey, Pat, it's Thursday. You know, where's the episode?" But he was very colorful with his language when he was saying that. And Pat, he's like, just letting you know, it's Thursday. Where's your message? And there were so many other people who heard. There was another guy who said, like, I heard you were saying that you were running a book and I just don't even care what it's about. I'm ready to order 21 copies of it to give it to my friends and family. Just send me information on how to buy it. And he was saying you got to build a super fan. You got to build a super fan base in order to get those kind of results. You got to really make them feel like you are interested in them. So what we did was we took our phones and we wrote on them, thank you, Pat Flynn, and we held him up like that to kind of give him that sense of like he was awesome. And when he walked out, he literally like kind of stood back, and he had about 20 people just like waiting for him because he saw that Katie was there. He saw that we were all around Katie, and everybody else was just waiting. And then all of a sudden, everybody else started showing up. They're like, yeah, he's gonna come out here. He's gonna come out here. Sure enough, he walked out. Boom, there he was. And we got pictures with him, and I made the connection with him by saying, I grew up with. He's a huge Back to the Future fan. He's just a huge Back to the Future fan. So I got photos with him, and I said, I love Back to the Future. I've been a Back to the Future fan since I was a kid. He's like, that's how I became attached to it too. And when you do that, that makes them feel special. That's also one of the ways where I was able to connect with Daryl Eaves, and he was able to talk to me for so long. Is that I was like, I've got some questions for you. And I didn't ask him any strategy questions first. I wanted to get to know him first. And I simply said to him, I was like, well, I caught something. Now, you may not like this. You may feel that this is kind of a dumb question to ask a leader, but I don't think so at all, because I want him to know that I'm more interested in learning more about him than learning about him first and then learning about his strategies later. I said to him, why do you like Empire Strikes Back from Star Wars more than all the other ones? And he looked at me and he just let it all out. He says, my uncle took me out of school when it came out, and we went and saw it in the theaters. So I skipped school and I saw it with him, and that's what made it so special. He said the movie was just so cool, and it was just so neat to skip school and go see that movie. And I was pretty blown away by that. Like, that's a pretty cool reason why, you would want to, why you think that's like the best one ever. And when I got to the end of it, all I could say was that I just want to help people the same way that he was. I just want to help people in the same way. I want to be able to connect with people on a level that makes other people feel special, or makes them feel like, this person actually really cares that he's going to be there for me. I'm not perfect, but I have the heart to help people. And oh man, there was it's really hard to condense like 5 days in Texas all in like 1 hour. It's really not possible. So that's why I'm just like talking about the relationship part of it, where you build the relationships with these people. You connect, you find some connection, and then you allow that to bond the people together. You allow that to just like really put people together. You really put people together. And I loved it. I love seeing the people and connecting with them. Now imagine that. Imagine like you have a celebrity that is out there, and you just have a one-on-one conversation about something that you absolutely think is cool. You're gonna feel more connected to that person talking about Star Wars or whatever, and like how it made an impact on your life or something, versus like, what's the latest strategy that you're going through? What's the latest YouTube strategy that you want to talk about? I got some pretty cool strategies from just talking to them, but having that one-on-one like deeper connection with that person, that's what's going to make an impression on him. And he made a promise to me that if I were to Now, Dave, if I don't know if I said this, I don't know if you know this, but he promised me that if I were to make drone videos, like how-to videos, like how to fix the blades and how to fly it, how to do pretty much everything I can with this drone, and I do it ultra consistently. He says he's going to introduce me to the #2 drone person on the planet. So talk about incredible. Talk about like absolutely amazing. Another thing too. This is another thing that really just like sunk deep into me. This is actually what made me want to talk to him even more. I'm going to tell you something. And this really took me back like when he did this for me. It may not be like a big deal to some people, but this is a totally different thing that he did for me personally. Is that when he told me that, I said, I will get it done. I will get it done. Yeah, I will. I will get it done. And then he's like, you want to see some of his videos? And I said, yes. Yes, I do. Absolutely. I want to see some of them. So he pulled out his phone and he was showing me the videos where he was flying like his drone like in his backyard and doing these impossible maneuvers that were just like a bird would be doing. And it was so amazing. So amazing to see like the footage on the side. And I'm looking at this going like, wow, this is incredible. And he wants to introduce me to it, but I got to prove myself. I have to do it. So we'll do it. And but here's the thing that really struck me. This is the point that I'm getting to, is that one like the other leaders inside of the event were coming up to him, and they said, "I have a quick question that I want to ask you." And he said, "Hold on." He said, "Hold on. I got one more to show him." So, and it's like he just like ignored them. He didn't have any interest in them in that moment, and he just kind of cut them off. And he's like, "Let me show you another one." He's like, let me show you another video." And that made me feel like unbelievably special. That made me feel like oh, that person's important, but talking to you right now is more important. And I just took so much value out of it. I don't even remember. I was so blessed by it. It was amazing. It was just that was like the most amazing. That was actually the #1 reason why I went there, is to meet that guy. Because he went last year, I missed it. I didn't get a chance to see him. I did not get a chance to connect with him. I did not get a chance to have any like a conversation with him. And so what I did was I simply I just took Katie's advice and I was able to just get out there. So it blessed me. It blew me away. And another thing too is that Derral Eves actually reminded me so much of my father, because like when you watch his videos and he has an intro like right after, like he introduces himself, and then he's like, okay, today we're going to talk about YouTube strategy on SEO or something like that. And then he's like, stay tuned. And then he plays an intro, for his video. And he goes, DerralEves.com. And like, it's so something that my father would have done. Like my father, like looking at that, he would have been like, this is so cool. Like I could just feel my dad's reaction to that. He's like, I want something like that. DerralBurrows.com. My dad's name is Derral. Derral Eves' name is Derral. And he looks like him. His whole everything was like, it reminded me so much of my dad. So I got a photo with Derral Eves holding up a picture of me and my dad. This is me and my dad. It's my first fish I ever caught. And I was like, Daryl, I want to show this to you. You know, this was my father, and I came to this event to honor him, and I wanted to meet you specifically. I came here specifically for you, and I want to, I really want to get good at making videos. And it just kind of just took off from there. So, you know, so why am I talking all about, you know, the relationship part of this? It's because that's the most important part of network marketing. That's the most important part of any business. It's your relationship to your customers. And when I went to the event, I'm gonna kind of put this. I'm gonna wrap this all up and put a bow on it. Is I went to the they kind of had like it was like a VIP party, but it didn't cost like an arm and a leg to get there. So I went, and when I went there, I met with a couple of people, and I kept asking the same question because I wasn't quite sure on on the answer. The question that I had was, let's say I got 250 people on my team. Like, what should I be doing? I don't want them to suck the life out of me, suck the energy out of me, because 250 people on my team it seems like they would just take up all my time. And it was so clear to me. He said, the guy who helped me was, his name was Todd Getz. He said, don't spend time with people who aren't producing. And that made so much sense to me. I said, you're right. You're absolutely right. So just spend time with people who are producing. Put all your energy into them. And he's like, what we do is that we build our list, and then we have a private workshop that every like Tuesday or something, and people can come, and some people don't show up, but the people that come and the people who are responding and the people who are producing results, those are the ones we tag, and those are the ones that we work with. And made total sense to me. Made perfect sense to me. All right, so we got some questions going on, and I want to keep going, or like, people are responding. I want to read them. You wish you could have met him, Dave. You would have loved him. He was at the event last year. You know, when it was really exciting. Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome to meet him. OMG, you loved it. You know, you connected so much with Daryl. I really did. I connected with him like on so many levels, and that was one of the things. I subscribed to his channel. I subscribed to his channel because I want to learn what's he doing. And he put out a video like an hour before he went out to live the dream. He actually put out a video like an hour before Live the Dream, and he says, I was just binge watching a new YouTuber. The guy makes videos that are like 6 minutes long, and his content is just full of energy. The guy is so joyful, and the guy is like super passionate about whatever he's doing that day. And when you're watching it, you enjoy watching his videos. He makes you feel like you get sucked right into it. Yeah. And I was like, that's powerful stuff. A guy who has 1 million subscribers, he's binge watching on a YouTuber who's got 40,000 subscribers. That is so cool. That I really want that for Daryl. I want to get people on my channel and binge watching on my videos. You know, I want to help 1 million people. I want to help 1 million subscribers to pursue their dreams and to make an impact on other people. So it really was a blessing to meet all of them. It was a blessing to meet some amazing people. We had so much fun. We had an incredible time just eating out and laughing about so many different things. Oh man, we were just like picking up stuff. Oh man, my hair is doing something weird. It is doing something weird, but I really don't care because this is my my webinar. You know, it's kind of flying in the wind. I have no idea. I really do need to take care of that though. But No worries. All right, we're going to conclude this. Thank you for coming on to this webinar. And let me see. I want to give you some tips from Hal Elrod, and he was talking about emotional invincibility. And emotional invincibility is when you accept reality for what it is, not for what you want it to be or wish it to be. He has 3 powerful words that he uses all the time, and he simply can't change it. A lot of people kind of gloss over that, and they go about trying to change stuff that is just we all try to go through something that we're trying to change that we really can't, like the traffic, or the government, or people or family members or something, and when you really kind of say to yourself, I can't change that, and then you move on to like a problem that you can change, that's there is some liberty in all that. And you definitely want to start practicing that. Like if you really feel like you're trying to control everything and change everything, you want to accept reality for what it is, not for what you want it to be or wish it to be. And then you apply the words can't change it. So I know that's kind of like off topic, but like I said, it's kind of hard to put 5 days of quality time with leaders into like 1 hour, so it's a really difficult thing to do. But I just wanted to stress the make connections with people, connect with leaders who are someone that you want to become or you want to follow or you're a super fan of, and you can learn a lot from them, and you can get some incredible connections if you just go to events that they host. All right, so if this is something that you are interested in, you want to learn more about how to work with me on the internet and how to make money online, there's a big yellow button that says get started right now. And it was so cool just to like hang out with all you people. I'm so glad to have got to connect with you, Katie, and we were able to get on those scooters with you and your dad and just like scoot around the whole city. The workshop warriors need to do that next time. We have got to get on those scooters and just go. It was so much fun. We got to do that again. All right, everybody, thank you. Thank you for watching this and supporting the channel. And we'll see you on the next video. Take care.